Hello everyone, Chef Eric here and welcome back to the YouTube channel for yet another amazing recipe. And today I'm showing you guys how I make my signature homemade fluffy cinnamon rolls. They're super easy to make, they're delicious, and they whip up in just under 3 hours, and I'm sure everyone you make this for will absolutely love them. So let's get started. We're gonna start by blooming our yeast. So some warm milk, you wanna add in your yeast along with a tablespoon of the sugar. Give it a good mix and then set aside in a warm place. And to your all-purpose flour, you want to add in your sugar, the remainder of the sugar. Give it a mix, create a well in the center, and then add in your milk mixture along with an egg. So to bring the dough together, you can either use like a fork or go in with your hands, just until it forms like a really large shaggy mass and just basically comes together. Next, we're going to add in our softened butter. Here, it's some really soft butter. It will really refuse to get incorporated into the dough, but the more you keep kneading it in, the more fully incorporated it's going to be. It'll feel weird and have like a funny sensation in your hands, but trust me, if you keep kneading and keep going, it will come together eventually. Knead for like 10 minutes until it's nice and smooth at the top, and when you press onto the dough lightly, it should spring back to life and should look nice and just sort of look nice. Add it into a large bowl. You can just use the same bowl you used to make the dough, along with a little bit of vegetable oil just to make sure nothing sticks and everything rises beautifully. You wanna cover and let rise for about an hour. You can do this in a warm place. In the meantime, you can make our cinnamon sugar filling. To some more soft butter, you wanna add in some brown sugar along with some cinnamon and give that a good mix. As always, the full recipe in cups and grams is available in the description box down below, so feel free to go check that out. Now you're gonna get your dough out, punch it out and roll it out into a large rectangle. It should be about kinda thick, not too thick, just gauge. Add your cinnamon sugar filling and then spread it all around until you get a nice and even layer. Now let's talk about rolling. I feel like it's where people mess up and the cinnamon rolls end up looking worse than probably what they intended. So I'm gonna help you out here. You need to try and roll this up as tightly as possible, making sure you tuck in like with each roll and make sure everything is like a nice long cylindrical log. Once you form a really nice log, you wanna start to chop it up. So you're gonna trim the edges. It's optional, but if you'd like to do so, go ahead and do so. Then you wanna start to divide it up. So you wanna split into two and then split those halves into halves and then those halves into halves. This is just basically gonna ensure that you have perfect looking cinnamon rolls and they're all about the exact same size. So there's no war over who gets the bigger cinnamon roll. For those who live with older siblings or younger siblings, you know how that goes. So once it's nice and chopped up, you wanna add it into a greased tin. You can even use a tray. Just make sure it's really greased so that they come out. Cover and you want to let this rise for about 40 minutes at room temperature and then bake at 180 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes until they look really nice and golden brown at the top. While they bake, you want to make your icing sugar glaze. So just make some icing sugar and a little bit of milk until it's nice and smooth and forms like a really runny glaze. Glaze your cinnamon rolls and you're done with making this recipe. And you're done. I really hope you guys give this recipe a try. It's super easy, it's super simple. And if you do happen to try this, make sure you tag me over on Instagram, TikTok or Facebook and use the hashtag #BuddingChefEric. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope we can see each other here next week, next Monday, for yet another amazing recipe. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more amazing content every single Monday.